So,
Hello, 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 and welcome to Keeping It Real on Purpose, the podcast where we come together with real talk about real issues and struggles in life, relationships, and in business purposely so you can have a better life. I'm your host, Edna J. White, and today our guest is Coreen Wright of Faith Accounting and Consulting Services. Welcome to Keeping It Real on Purpose, Coreen.
thank you, Edna, for having me. I love watching what you do.
Thanks so much. I am so glad you're here. So I'm a little itchy today because, numbers are not my thing, and I'm so glad that somebody else can do it besides me. You are amazing in what you do, and I'm so proud to know you. You are in my neighborhood and on Long Island. But you can be everywhere, right? You can be everywhere, right? You
Yeah,
can be.
we're a virtual accounting firm, so I'm all over
There you go. I love it.
talking to people in London, in the
I
Philippines.
love it. I just love it. So tell us how you, Coreen Wright, show up in the world.
Well, I number one show up as especially a woman, number one. That's how I show up.
Yes,
And then
absolutely.
with me being a woman and then a Black woman, because my heritage is Hispanic and Jamaican.
Right,
Um, I show up like that, but I also show up as a mom and
right.
wife and a daughter. And then my business is just like the extra credit to it. That's just the extra
I
credit.
like that. The extra credit. I like that.
Extra credit.
Excellent.
Like, having that is like, okay, awesome. I'm able to do this. It's a blessing. I can own my own business. But
Hmm.
me showing up, and it's for me, it's all family. I'm very family oriented.
Right.
So, and I'm a giver. So that's another issue with me when it comes to the business because I always want everyone. And it's like, you can't be an outreach program all the time. You
Yeah.
gotta be.
Yeah.
But that's how I
Yeah.
show up. I show up like I'm there for you. I'm there for my family. I do the same thing for my clients. So my
Yes.
clients, I'm 100% there all the time. Like if they tell me
Mhm.
they're having issues, we're not crunching the numbers like, okay, you have to pay us, but we're like trying to work with them.
Yeah.
Same way I work with my children and my husband and everybody.
Yes, I get it. And being in your business, I like the fact that you're a woman-owned business. I believe the numbers were for 2018 were 136% women kind of came out of the regular 9 to 5 and created their own businesses. Black women, let me just say, excuse me,
Yeah.
Black women. And I'm so very proud to know that you took that step. Um, how is it that you're okay, let's do this first because I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm all excited you're here. What is Faith Accounting and what do you do?
So Face Accounting, we're a virtual accounting firm. And
Mhm.
that came out of because of COVID. So now
Yes.
we just decided to stay that way. The first thing is my first love is bookkeeping. So we
Right.
help small businesses establish their accounting system, and then we help them use their bookkeeping as a tool. So we do not, it's not like, I got to contact my bookkeeper or my bookkeeper works for me. We're more
Right.
like a partnership and an advisor for them. So we
Okay.
are literally sitting there interpreting your books, the
Mhm.
numbers. Nobody's a number person. Everybody's like, I don't do numbers. I hate numbers. You didn't start your business to do accounting. And I get that. And we understand that. But it's so important. So we make sure we go over the numbers, explain the numbers and how it
Mhm.
could help their business and what
Mhm.
it's doing to their business.
Okay.
So, and then the second part of it is that I do tax preparation. And the tax preparation, we usually work with individuals. So
Right.
that's kind of where I like to, that's where I get a lot of more action on that side.
Right. I see. Yes.
Every individual is different. So um
Yes, I get it.
the best thing about that, I've been able to work with almost 5 or 6 different individuals, and none of them are accountants that work
Hmm.
with me. They're all there was 3 Black women that came from Hempstead, where I grew up at. I
Hmm.
worked with them for a little bit. They worked for our firm. Great people.
Nice.
They had experience of over 20 plus years. So I was learning from them as they were learning from me, from what I've
Right.
learned in school. And then I also I've had hired 2 or 3, it's actually 3 young women
Oh,
and
nice.
they were like green, like they never
Yeah.
they never picked up a
Yeah.
tax return.
Nice.
And then there's just now and they're enrolled in their first task course. So they're
Mm-hmm.
training and now they're starting to get their own book of clients. But my part of the main thing I opened up my business for was also to help other people get a job. So I really
Right.
opened it up so I can have a legacy for my children and my family. Because when
Yeah.
I was working for a lot of firms,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the private sector, I worked for a mortgage company. It wasn't a small mortgage company, but they were a family-owned mortgage company.
Right.
And the whole family worked there. And I'm like, I want the same for my family. Like I want
Yeah,
my family to have the
absolutely.
option and really don't need to go pull out a resume. They can just come to work. I want to do the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
That's
I did it.
incredible.
So that's how I did it. And then most of like my cousin is my vice president of my tax department. So she's been with us since she was 4 years old. And
Wow.
then and now she's 21 and expecting a baby next week. and then
Wow.
and then I've also hired one of my clients' children. So it's all family here.
Wow. This is what I say is a legacy business. This is really legacy. It's amazing that what you're doing. This needs to be in the newspaper. A
Well,
business like
coming
this.
from you is going to be in the newspaper.
This is going to be in, it should be. This is really a wonderful thing. This is what we bring out businesses for, is to build on and give back to the community. And you're doing so well. You're doing that. That's wonderful. Now, you said something in the beginning. I got two questions. So you said something in the beginning about making the bookkeeping a tool. How do you do that?
So when we first start with goals, so we talk to the business owner and we ask them what their goals are. And I'm not really looking for your business goals. You know, that's what most people worry about. I'm looking for your personal goals because your personal and business, it's just one. It's still
Yeah,
one.
absolutely.
So your
Totally.
personal goals are more important than your business goals. And
Mhm.
technically, most of the time, your personal goals become business goals because
Right.
for me, I want to have the flexibility of being at every game that my son has or every soccer event my daughter has or anything. I want to be able to do that. That's my flexibility that I want. So that freedom that I'm going to get, I would have to hire someone to take on that role. Because if I'm running out of here, I'm going to need somebody else to take care of the books or have meetings with my clients. So I would have to figure out how much that would cost to hire. And then when I'm hiring that person, I will also have to figure out how much money we need to bring in revenue. So
Mhm.
that's how we kind of use the tool. We go through all your personal goals. What do you want to do in 5 years? If you have children, are you setting up a 529? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And then when we
Right.
get those goals, we can turn into numbers. And then we'll
Mhm.
the tools. And then the counting system we'll create is that the system has to be like a habitual thing. So it
Right.
has to be a habit that you get, like brushing your teeth twice a day. You just do it
Yeah.
because you know. So
Right.
the bookkeeping will come to become a habit for the business owner, and then
Mhm.
eventually it won't be as painful as it usually is
Yeah,
this
you're
year
right.
or
Yeah.
period for anyone that never does it. It's just a painful thing. Like
Oh, yeah.
so it's not as painful. We put it in bite size, and then that tool that they now have, they can now go run their numbers, so they can run their
Mhm.
profit and loss and their balance sheets and see what's going on. Because
Right.
usually balance sheet is like a snapshot of what's going on. Your profit and loss
Mhm.
is showing you how you did. It's like a report card. So you'll use
Yeah.
those things and help you make the decisions you need. Like, can I afford to hire a new employee? And will I be able to take them on for the next 6 months without having to really
Yes.
do like jump up in sales or go out there and do what I have to do to make sure my employees are
Mhm.
paid. So those are the tools that's what I'm talking about when we're creating tools for them.
Okay, great. And I know how important that is, owning my own business. When I first came out, working in the, I guess it's blue collar. I don't know what it is, but you know,
America.
and yeah, and I came out of that because I hated it every moment of it. And I was like, okay, I got to work for myself. And I can't tell you how important organization and accounting organization is because we'd be like Oscar Madison from The Odd Couple, writing things down on a piece of paper and throw it in a pile. It would be just like that. But having a service like yours is very important for every business, but most importantly for Black businesses, as I see it with a lot of my clients. What the most important thing that you've said is starting from the beginning, the accounting service. And that's that's part of the 5 pillars that I talk about in business. It's finances have to be strong, right? Everything's got, that's a part of it for your business, correct?
Yes, definitely is. And I would love
Yeah.
to know, yeah, I say the same thing about pillars. You need to build the right foundation. So you need to have your
Right,
legals in order, which is the business setup, and then you need to get the
right.
finances in order. And the
Mm,
thing that I think most of our Black businesses realized during the pandemic
yeah.
was that they skipped that step and they lost out on a lot of funding.
Oh yeah.
A lot of funding they lost out of, or if they did get some funding, luckily it was too late. Like it was
Too late, yeah.
later, and
Yeah.
they were only getting a little bit, and now we are going into this next stage where, okay, what did you do with that money? How did you do this?
Mhm.
They're going to come back and penalize us, and I feel like they're penalizing us even more is because we got so much funding as African American business owners.
Wow. I hear you. Yeah, I've seen that too, and I know you see it. A lot of people are like we kind of missed out because I was advocating for the PPP loan, and people had no. I was like, oh my goodness, how do we do this? How did we get there? And what is the 3 things? Give us 3 things that let's just start with a startup. What
Mhm.
are the most important 3 things that they need when they get started, in business? What do you think they need?
The first three things I definitely think they need is the legal structure needs to be in place
Okay.
day one. Then once you start that legal structure, open up that bank account,
Right.
okay, and then make sure you're disciplined enough not to use your business bank account like it's your personal account. Like,
Absolutely.
don't do that. I mean, a lot of people do it. Like when I'm doing the taxes on the individual side, we see it, and it's like, do not use it for. And I don't want to get legal on it, but technically, you are going to like break the corporate veil when you're using your business
Absolutely.
with using your business account like it's your personal, because now they're gonna have proof that your business wasn't a real business.
Yeah.
So now you're opening up yourself liability. So you don't want to do that. And then the third thing is to get the advisors on your team. Like try to get all the advisors you can. Um,
Hmm.
a lot of people out here running their business like on a Kool-Aid budget. That's not what you
Oh yes.
can't do that. You make sure you are investing into your business. It's not your money.
Mhm.
And
No.
that's why I also say my business is like an extra credit for me because it's really its own entity, and
Yeah.
I'm able and blessed that I can run this business
Mhm.
for the past 8 years
Yeah.
because of the fact that I made sure to plan properly and
Right.
what I had to do from the day one. I didn't wait months or years to get a LLC ever.
Hmm.
Sure to get that as soon as I got the first check from a client. I was like, put that right into the LLC.
Yeah. Absolutely. Do put that right in. Put it
um,
right in.
that you want to get that right away. And then we just need to just keep on making this business. The world is serious. And there's so many people out there watching your business,
Hmm.
on the political side.
Yeah.
And that's what people don't get.
Yeah.
Make sure you're doing it right. The IRS
Absolutely.
you, the state's watching you,
Yeah.
the corporate, New York State corporate offices are watching you.
Absolutely.
So many people, once you start that business, there's so many people watching you.
And we don't think that. We really don't think that. We don't, and then, social media is the biggest, we didn't have that before. Well, I didn't have that before,
Yeah,
social media as much as
really need to.
now. But, now everybody can like lean in, lean in and see what you're doing. And I remember talking to one of my clients and they wanted to do, a fundraiser. And so I said, well, what is it for? It's a fundraiser. Okay, yeah. What is it for? and they had some kind of like arbitrage. It's not legal. Fund, you know what fundraiser means, right? It's not to create funds for yourself. It's for something that's nonprofit, that's in existence already, that you're giving to an organization. So you're going to go out here and do this and then get caught up in all this stuff. I said, I don't want anything to do with it. I think you need to rethink this and, do something else,
Mhm.
and this is what we get caught up in, and a lot of what you teach in your business is those words, like what fundraisers really are, right? Am I right?
Yeah, that's definitely what we teach. And we want to teach people that you are able to do it the right way at any budget. It's out there at any budget for you to do this.
Exactly. And I
Everybody,
like what you just said about your business is an investment. Could you go into that? Like, because a lot of times we do mix it up. We do kind of commingle the two of them. And I've learned that, okay, my business is here. And if I get a credit card, I'm investing my business. I'm not going to spend it on a banana for me. I'd rather spend it for business cards for me, So can you talk about kind of getting out of that role,
so,
that feeling?
so your business is an investment. So like, for instance, when a client looked at me like, oh, we can't afford that, or the expenses, or when you look at expenses or deductions, that's something when we're talking about on the tax side, but every expense or deduction is really an investment you're putting in the business.
Right.
You put $10, let's say, let me get it even better. If you put $30 in the business, you're expecting to bring in $100 into the business from the
Right.
revenue. So if you go purchase that $30 banana,
Right.
right?
Because that's what it's going to be, right?
That banana $30, that banana should be bringing you in another $70, which is a total of $100 in revenue. So it's an investment every time you're thinking of what you're going to spend for the business. So and then it's like when you're spending, you have to be thoughtful about it. You just can't, I'm just going to buy this, I'm going to buy that, or social media, and I seen that this social media content thing planner worked for this person. Is it going to work for you? Are you even ready for social media right now? Did you get
Yeah.
like,
And
no.
I call that the shiny toy syndrome. Every time you see something on Facebook, oh, we got to get that. And it might not even be for you, right?
It's not for your business. Your business told you no.
And you end up spending money where you could have put it somewhere very simply, like in business cards, like, having business cards, or maybe your letterhead that would have bought you more of an investment than that shiny new, whatever it was.
Or even something as simple as, for instance, we have, I don't know, on our, like Black Long Island, we always get complaints about the business customer support. So you could have probably put $30, whatever that social media planner was. Maybe you could have put into something to automate your business, to
Right.
Help with your customer service.
Right.
So a lot of us, we don't think about the customer service part. We just like, okay, here's some money, cash at me this. But no, maybe you need to create a merchant's account, or maybe you need to create an automated system like Dubsado to get everything in order for you and automate that process. So certain things you're not ready yet. If you didn't create your systems, you're not ready for social media, because social media is going to bring people to you.
Yeah.
You want that yet?
And that's a great point, Coreen, is that it's not for us to chase people, it's for us to draw them to us. It took me a long time to figure that out. It's not for us to chase them, like, chase customers, to find out where they are. It's for us to draw them by what we represent and how we present ourselves to social media.
Yeah.
And you teach about that, right? You teach a lot of that.
I don't teach a lot about the social media part, but I teach about the fact that make sure you're ready before you want to that stuff. Like, for me, I had a social media manager for a while, but my social media manager wasn't helping the business. So that was one thing we had to get rid of.
Right.
Our business is mainly on referrals. Like, you have to know your business. Our business is working on referrals, not really a piece. So I might need to go on there and just do a few lives and reels, and I'm going to get people. And that's about it, because they want to see me. But because everybody, you can Google and find anything about accounting and bookkeeping. But so it's like,
you're right. It's about trust with services. It's about, you sell the experience, as I do. I sell the experience, as opposed to, you can get something from accounting, you can get QuickBooks, you know what I'm saying? You're sharing the experience of working with you. You're right. Yeah,
exactly. Energy.
So are there any kind of like stereotypes about your profession that maybe you want to share that people have said and it's really not true?
Well, I feel like it's kind of true sometimes, because I say it myself, but we are kind of boring accountants. We kind of just, we look at, it's kind of like black and white. There's no gray area, because we're like, well, don't lie. So that's like, but we could be kind of boring, but I kind of have fun through my kids. So
I see that. I know you're just as bubbly as can be. I think that adds to everything. Just adds to it.
exactly. So,
Mhm.
so those are a few things. Another thing is that we kind of are, most people feel like accountants aren't really, we only work from January to April, and that's not true. That's
Oh,
not true, but it's not true. It's not true
right.
at all. Like if you have an accountant out there that's only talking to you through January and April, you need to switch because you're talking to your accountant every month or quarter.
Mm-hmm. I feel you. I hear that. Yeah, because I asked my friend actually is into accounting as well. So I said, "Oh, you got a break now?" She goes, "No, we now have to work with businesses." I said, "Oh." I was, so I learned something new. I was like, I kind of got like kind of reprimanded there. No, no, no. So yeah, I get that part. How is it to be in business in an area, as you said, a very boring, as you say, but I don't think so. I think with you, it'd probably be a lot of fun. Um, in that field of accounting and being someone who's Black, how did you kind of get into it? Like you just get into this industry and move forward.
Well, I kind of feel like for me, it was a little bit easier for me because I went to Howard University, so
Okay.
I kind of had more of a good like a good what's in head like a good leap before
Okay.
I started. So I was kind
Right.
of prepared. Like when I went to Howard, we had to like start dressing in business suits Tuesdays and Thursdays from day
Mhm.
one,
Right.
and
Right. Got
stuff like.
it.
But I do find it a little bit harder because for me, if I want to just in the beginning, I wanted to work with Black small businesses, but Black small businesses like aren't interested in accounting and bookkeeping. They don't.
Right.
That's not their number one thing. Instead,
Right.
like if I look at my different clients right now, I have one
Hmm.
client that's from London, and they started their accounting system the day they started their business formation,
Wow.
the same day. And then for the first year, they probably didn't make any money, but that didn't matter. They made sure their books were in order and things like
Right.
that. But when it comes to our organization, our culture, we wait until like we have enough money when it's like that's not how it works. That's
Yeah,
not.
it's really opposite. Yeah, I agree. I work with entrepreneurs all the time. I'm an entrepreneurial coach,
Mhm.
and I always say, that's backwards.
Yeah.
That's totally backwards. Now you're in a year in and you have enough to prove to get a SBA loan, but you have no information. So it's really backwards. So yeah, I like that you are a business that can come out there and say, "Hey, you're doing it wrong," and alive, yeah, and advocate like that. You're doing it wrong. This is how you got to do it, and still have your clients that you know that you're going to be like solid. That's a good thing. So how can we find you on social media?
You can find me on Facebook. You can actually join our group called Do It Yourselfish Bookkeeping Collective. And
Okay.
Instagram, it's faith_acs.com. I mean, faith_acs. And then our website is faithacs.com. And
Okay.
in addition to that, you can also send us an email at hello@faithacs.com. So you can kind of get a free consultation for an hour.
Oh, nice. Well, audience, I'm going to have all that available to you on Facebook and on the video, so you'll have all that information for Coreen Wright. We want to thank you, and thanks for representing Faith Accounting and Consulting Services. So, what's the last thing I'm going to ask you is what would you give? What I guess empowering words would you give to anyone that wants to start a business right now?
I want to say just do it. Like Nike said, do it, but make sure you're doing it with a purpose.
Oh, nice. And audience, you heard that. Make sure you're doing it with a purpose. Have a purpose. And I want to thank you, Coreen, for being with us today. And audience, you will have all the information to get in touch with Coreen at Faith Accounting and Consulting Services. This is Edna White, and you are on Keeping It Real on Purpose. And thank you for being here. Bye for now.